What is poppin', YouTube? Okay, it's your girl Leah Mac back on the channel. How you doing? How you doing? So, first and foremost, Lil J is right here. So if you feel a monitoring spirit, she's just 2 seconds off camera. Hi Pookie. Nana, you wanna say hi? She smiled, but then she was looking like she don't know y'all, so sorry, she don't know y'all people. But what are we here about today? So we're here for story time because that's what y'all love. Y'all love to hear about me and my life. But as far as we know, I like to, stay out the mess, the tea, the shade, the drama. But this story has been on my heart for over a year now. And I feel like I just need to get it off my chest because, oh, this is my pen. Sorry, this is my editing pen. So I'm getting down to work when I have my little LOL surprise pen. This story time is about an unfortunate event that happened to me and taught me a lot about motherhood, respect, and being pushed over your limit at a very early stage. So we're gonna hop into it. So even though this is tea, mess, and shade, we're gonna keep everything anonymous because I'm not even that type of person. Because I'm just not like that at all. But we're gonna get into it. So if you don't know, now you know. I used to work at Starbucks. Starbucks inside of the Giant. That damn Giant. Just first of all, I could do like 50 story times from that Giant by itself, but I keep it cute, keep it pea, because that's how it's supposed to be. But I've had my fair share of co-workers in my lifetime, but this person in particular was just like the worst so far. Just with everything that I have for you today, and I ain't even gonna go into full detail about everything because there's no need to. But we're gonna call this person Moose.
Bitch, my motherfucking chest.
Oh, we gonna. There's something funny, Bubby. Something funny. I know I'm funny. We're gonna call this person Moose for particular reasons. So I was working with Moose. What's up? Super cool red editing Celia here. I want you to take a shot every time I say Moose. So rewatch it from the beginning because you were only like 2.5 minutes in, and take a shot every time I say Moose. There you go. Get a buzz ball. Moose. And off the rip, I could tell that they had a really poor work ethic. That's no tea, no shade. That's like, if you have a poor work ethic, you have a poor work ethic. And that's just whatever. I'm not just going to immediately not like you off the rip just because of that. 'Cause I'm a mature person. I've been like that my whole life. Like, as long as it's not affecting me and my like work. And then it did. And I'm like, okay, like you gotta like pick up the pace, pick up your slack, X, Y, and Z. That never happened. Then I saw that it wasn't just the work ethic that was poor, but the character that was poor. Just talking about people, gossiping all the time, just total lack of regard for other people. I'm like, okay, like this is what it's gonna be. Like, it's gonna have to be like that because we are in an enclosed space, we work together, like, I gotta keep it professional. What was the big catalyst that started it? The big catalyst that started it was like at a personal level because there were instances of like noticing that her character flaws, and still just, again, keeping it in the tuck because, I'm just professional, like this is a job, I'm here to get my money and I'm here to go. But things started getting personal because she had beef with my mom for X, Y, and Z reasons. That's a completely different story, but that's important because we all worked in that Giants. Us over in the Starbucks and Dukes over in the bakery. So it's important because, first of all, if you gonna have beef with my mom, you automatically have beef with me. That's just, I'm sorry.
You know what? A girl have beef with me, she gonna have beef with me forever.
That came into play, and that's gonna be important, that statement that I just said, because it's gonna get flipped. Yeah, like if you have beef with my mom, you got beef with me. Like that's, like we're not gonna be cool. Like that's not how that works. beef, I was trying to stay out of it because, again, like, I can have those feelings, but then I also have to recognize that that's not my beef. Right. That's not my problem. She's a grown woman. She can fight her own battles, X, Y, and Z. I was dragged into this involuntarily. So, how did I even get dragged into this? I was already just showing, probably just by my face, like, dog, like, I'm just over this, I'm over you, but still keeping it P, keeping it professional, but it wasn't being reciprocated, and I'm just like, oh, like, if we have issues, like, we have issues. Again, just keep it cute while we're at work. And, you know, it don't even have to be like that. But things took a real hard left out the blue, and this is when there was a whole lot going on in my life, of course. So we all know how last February was probably the hardest time of my life, like, in a while. I just found out that my grandma had passed away. I was having a hard time at work. Now we also see that I was having a tough time with a coworker, and that was just like burning me out, Usher. Like, so things turned really ugly when we were having a dispute, and this is the part I really hate, that I don't have my iPhone, because I don't have any of those receipts. I have some receipts that I will have in here as far as evidence, but beyond that, I don't have everything that I like would normally have. But y'all know, like, again, I sit here and tell you a joke, I tell 1,000 jokes. I ain't gotta sit here and tell no lie. We got into a dispute because of scheduling problems, where I guess she was supposed to be taking a shift of mine, doing me a favor. That didn't turn out, and of course that responsibility was going to be on me, which I initially was saying, like, dog, like, that's going to fall on me. Like, you can have your beef X, Y, and Z, cool, but don't, like, when it comes to my money, we're not going to be funny. So she wanted to go back and forth with me about that, when all I was trying to, again, and here's the part that's the kicker. I, like, didn't get into this. I think I was probably 20, if this was like, oh, duh, I'm stupid. This was last year. I was 21 going on 22. She was 19, so she's younger than me. And I'm like, yo, young girl, like, dog, please, I'm not worried. I'm not gonna try to tell you anything. But she wanted to go back and forth with me, and I'm like, I have the type of personality trait where it's like, when I get mad and I get really angry, I don't want to use words. I just want to fight. Like, I don't want to sit there and argue. I don't want to, like, whatever. Like, once disrespect is, like, blatant, I'm like, okay, let's just get this over with. So, and it's not like, oh, I'll be trying to instigate stuff. Like, no. Like, what's the point of words and just, you know, just making stuff worse and trying to go below the belt? No, we could just fight.
What was the reason? What was the reason? I just explained the reason. What was the reason, bitch?
We just fight it out. But we were going back and forth about that. Then I find out that same exact night that my grandma died. So I'm already coming home from work just like, damn, like, my day sucked. And then we got that phone call, and I was like, oh, wow, my life sucks. Wow, okay, great. So after that situation happened, it was just like, it was completely tense. Mind you, I felt like she was the only person I was being scheduled with, and I'm like, yo, I'm looking at my boss like, is this like intentional? Like, are you blind? Do you not know? And I think it was partial blindness, because my boss being a white, middle-aged woman and not recognizing, like, deep black tension, you know, I'm just like, yo, man, this is crazy. So time goes on, and I do become vocal about my pregnancy. So instead of it just being like close friends knowing, you know, I was comfortable with just, you know, telling people here and there. She finds out, and the reason why I was trying to just hold off from specifically telling work people was that exact reason, because I know people talk, and I didn't want her to find out, because I didn't want my pregnancy weaponized against me. And I know that sounds crazy, but that's something that people do. That, like, for anybody just, you know, thinking about it, there's so many factors to just anything. People weaponize a child before they're even here. So that's the truth and the sad reality of it. But I was trying to avoid that, and it was still inevitable. So eventually, we got into another squabble. What did we squabble about? I can't even remember what we were squabbling about. Oh, okay. So the beef had got worse with my mother, her and my mom. And this is how I got dragged into it more. The first time, we were arguing over text again, because I'm just like, look, dog, like, you thought I was getting smart with you. I wasn't, because I really wasn't. Like, I don't need to sit here and get smart with a person that's dumb. Like, that's not gonna make anything for me. She texts me that she wants to fight, and I'm like, okay, like, dog, we can get this down. She's like, you ain't want to fight me this whole time. You ain't want to speak up this whole time because you're pregnant and you're scared. I'm like, first of all, I was only like probably a month or like at the month, so like not too far. So that was just like not true, because I'm like, dog, I would just like whip you right now, like no question about it. It's been like on site, but not on site only because we work together. But everybody just was like, duh, like telling me the sensible, rational thing to not fight her. And I'm like, okay, I'm listening to y'all. And it wasn't even trying to be mature. It's just, it's just a bad look. But she said something along the lines, and that I have that text message. I have that text message of her being like, oh, like, I got something for you and your kid, da 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 da. Implying like, oh, like she don't care that I'm pregnant. She'll whoop me, and my child while she's in me. So I just was like, oh, okay, so that's automatically you gotta die. But that's not how life works. That's not how life works at all. And I'm just like, man, this is crazy. Like, I'm a good person. I can't wish bad upon somebody else. But damn, like, how somebody get away with stuff like that? But yeah, of course, instantly, I'm just like, man, I'm going to figure out a way for you to get beat up. Like, that's crazy. You just put a target on yourself. Why'd you do that? But again, being a good person and a gracious person that I am, I didn't do that. I mean, I regret not doing that. But, I mean, it's always the future. There's no need for that. Of all the things that was pissing me off and, like, made me mad, like, you can talk about me all day and all night and, whatever, but you talking about my child, that's dead. That's zero. Just like I said in my last video that I don't play about her, I don't. So one day, while the beef was really, really bad, and this is after that, so I'm already like hot. I'm already hot. She calls my phone. I'm off of work. I'm home, sleep, pregnant, minding my business, sleep as I should be. She calls my phone and she's like, hey, can I get your mom's phone number, because it's a lot of back and forth going on, and this is like, we just need to talk like women. Mind you, I left out a part because I totally forgot, it slipped my mind, that she brought her mom to the job while, all the beef was going on, I guess to try to like intimidate my mom. And she like laughed in her face because she's like, what? Who are you? Who are these two mooses? Who are these mises in here? What? But yeah, when she called and asked me for my mom's phone number, I laughed. I literally was on the phone like, ha ha. I said F no, and then I hung up on her. I was like, what? And I was ready to go up to the job. Yes, I did. I started slicking my hair back. I was like, yo, like, dog, no. I'm looking up the bus schedule. Like, what is the bus coming so I could pull up on them? But that, unfortunately, did not happen. So from after those two instances, you would just think like, damn, like it's automatically on site. And that's how I felt. I felt to myself like, damn, like it was automatically on site when I have this baby. But of course, you just gotta let stuff pass and just realize how immature stuff is and just move on from life. But the craziest part is I've seen her twice post those situations. One time I was pregnant, the second time I wasn't. Now when I saw her when I was pregnant, I think I was a couple months in because it was spring going into summer. I was going to my best friend's graduation, Christian, period. And I have pictures of that day. Literally, I have a picture of myself minutes before she got on the bus. Because she got on the bus, and I didn't want to harp too much on her character in a petty way because, again, that part wasn't important. Like, you talking about my child is just, like, explains yourself right then and there. But she she was a talker as far as like, you know, with the boys. Damn near was trying to talk to everybody in every department, but she had 2 of her little goon dummies like with her the whole time. I'm just like on the phone because I was on the bus doing my makeup on my way to the graduation, and I'm like, yo, dog, I want to smack so bad, but I can't. I'm like, dog, like I can't.
Bitch, who you calling a bitch though? I'm calling you a bitch.
We both got off at B&O, and I'm over here just looking all like pretty and stuff like that. I'm just like, you know what? Just be gracious. Be pretty and gracious as you already are, because, you know, I ain't saying nothing to her. And it's not because like, oh, like I'm a punk again. Again, when you like mature and realize like all of that, oh, you was being a punk, you was being scared, you learn that there is a time and a place for everything. And that wasn't the time nor the place. The second time I saw her though, I was postpartum. Like I had the baby. Now this is the part that really gets me. But again, I guess circumstance just prevents a lot of stuff. I was waiting for the bus and she was waiting for a different bus, but I wasn't feeling too good. Like I genuinely was not feeling good physically.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap.
I had a long journey ahead of me, and I saw her and I just was like, damn, like this is a perfect opportunity, you know, a one-on-one. We ain't got no folks with us. We just squabble and walk away and then boom. But I just wasn't feeling good, and I wasn't gonna push myself, and like, no. But, you know, if I see her again, and that's the crazy part, I'll be having dreams and I'll be thinking like, damn, like say if I like was at a party and I saw her, oh yeah, like I would. I'm not gonna lie. I probably would say something. Would I immediately just like punch her? No. I would rile you up so you can put your hands on me so I can defend myself. There you go. That's the trick, ladies. That's the trick. Piss them off just smart enough. But that is my story time of the moose that got away. I was picking between like titles between that and the moose that escaped the fade. So whichever one out of those two, you'll see that in the title for sure. I'm definitely like still picking which one it should be. But that is my story time about the ex-co-worker that decided to talk about my child. And, you know, again, you gotta just imagine to yourself that karma works in mysterious ways and that it is out of your reach and out of your control. Just work on being a good person. It taught me at a very early stage of motherhood that people will test you. People will test you about the littlest things. Even when you think you're just minding your business, your beef sometimes is not going to be your own beef. They'll just bring up, you know, dead relatives, you know, parents, and kids. Kids are not off the table, and you just have to prepare yourself in life for that so you don't just automatically just respond in anger and get yourself in even more trouble. So you breathe in, you breathe out, you woosah, and think about how you want to be a better person and be better than the next person. Still an outro, so peace. Hi, I lied. Super cool editor here. I totally forgot this story because again, 1,000 things be on my mind, but let me tell y'all how my manager at the time, we're going to call her Mr. Bean. So Mr. Bean has set up this meeting this is post text message of talking about my child, and I was still working there. She had set up this meeting between Moose and I guess, to try to squabble stuff because, you know, I guess that's when she started to pick up on the tension. All right, cool. I wasn't having none of it. Again, I'm there to make money, trying to go, peace out, that's it, whatever. So I just was, I was just standing there not saying nothing. All right, cool. She says, so I can't remember everything. That's just so crazy because of trauma. But she says something along the lines of like, yeah, like you had disrespected me trying to be smart and funny. And, you know, so like there was nothing for her to apologize about because she wasn't going to apologize like to begin with. So I just was like not hearing it. So as she was talking, I'm putting my black Crocs in sport mode because I'm just like, yeah, you know what? Just cut the cameras because I'm ready to just be over with it. But she had noticed, and I was just like, yeah, like, this is all dead right now. Like, I'm not trying to hear none of that. She had walked away. I'm like, oh my God, like, bro, bring that ass here. Bring that ass here.